Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the March 18th Raw Review. This was, not a half bad Raw, but it wasn't really up to the expectation I thought it was going to be. Now I'm going to start with Fandango, or as Natalia says, Fandang, get him, Carly. That's what we got. We got Fandango, and they have really begun to they're really trying to highlight this man. He still did not get a match. No match tonight. Well, yesterday actually. We did not get a match. But what did we get? Like the gimmick they had with MVP. We got a nice hoop with some streamers, with his image on it. When he gets outside, we got like a ballroom floor type of material. Then when we get into the ring, we got him posing like this with kind of like a fireworks display above him in his shape. That was actually very nice. They're trying to really push this guy, which is very good. I don't know what I can say if this is going to work or not. Johnny Curtis may not get anywhere. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, sorry. But this really feels like this is going to be a WrestleMania match. But my question is, who is he going to face? Is he going to face Khali? Is he going to face Chris Jericho? I would like to see him face Chris Jericho. But I don't think they structured it properly. When Chris came out to talk about him going into this IC triple threat, which I really wish they had done this at WrestleMania. Really. I really wanted this at WrestleMania. This was not a great match, but it could have been a WrestleMania match. It didn't have to have Chris there. It didn't. What could have happened, even though this may had to still go over, was the segment between Chris Jericho and Fandango. Have to do that. Go. But you know what I'm talking about. When he started insulting his name, he could have, after getting insulted, could have came out during the match and screw over Chris Jericho. He didn't screw him over. The Miz lost over Wade Barrett because of a roll-up. And Miz looked like he should have been the one to win it. Now it's obvious it looked like they're going to have a Wade and Miz match at WrestleMania. That's what I'm believing. Unless they're going to be foolish enough to do another match within the next 2.5 to 3 weeks. If they do that, they will lose whatever credibility they got for this match. But what could have happened, which could have still gone into the WrestleMania match with Wade and Miz, let Fandango come out and try to fuck up Chris Jericho. I want to see a Chris Jericho Fandango match at WrestleMania 29. And I'm sure if anyone's listening to this and seeing this, you're going to say, wait a minute, why would you have those two together? He's a nobody. Johnny Curtis is nothing, even though he was the Kings of Wrestling. Look, right now we need new stars. If they're heel or face, it makes no difference. Right now we need to build some people up. Chris Jericho is the type to give back to the business sometimes. So right now he's been jobbing a lot to a lot of people. So who says he couldn't job for a Fandango at WrestleMania 29? Why not? Now we could get this feud and this match at WrestleMania 29 anyway. It's possible they want to do it on SmackDown instead of the next Raw. Or they may do it at that Raw. I could still be wrong. But I don't believe I will be wrong. I believe that Fandango may mess with Chris Jericho, because if they're going to have a Fandango versus Great Khali match, seriously, no one's going to buy into it, because Khali's too big of a guy for him to be jobbing to a newcomer like Fandango unless he can do something really, really good. And I don't think he's going to be able to pull something off like that at a WrestleMania. He's not going to get a WrestleMania moment like that. So I believe it's going to be with Chris Jericho. Now, this leads me into the next thing that at first I didn't understand, but now it makes the sense. Because I stated this on my last review. on SmackDown, I believe. I said that Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler may be considered a tag team now because of what's been going on. That one, Dolph beat Kane and Dolph beat Daniel Bryan. And then they have the Daniel Bryan and AJ segment, which I really didn't care much about. But then, what happened on SmackDown, when Dolph versus Kane, and now when Hell No versus Primo and Epico, bringing it in now, because this leads into it. There was nothing there, really. There was no point even worrying about it. It was lovely to see Rosa Mendes. She's a beautiful woman. As I said, there's a difference between beauty and sexy hot. Sex appeal. And Rosa Mendes is a beautiful woman. I've said this dozens of times. Rosa Mendes is beautiful. She's very good looking. But she does not ooze sex appeal. She doesn't. She oozes beauty, sensuality, but not sex appeal. I'm not bashing her, but she is not a Eve Torres or anyone else that gives off that type of appeal. But there's no reason that she shouldn't be there. I'm glad she's there. I would have liked to see some type of interference by her, but the only thing she does is yell, scream, dance, and that's it. She would do better if she tried to get over as a real nasty heel diva, and she's not doing it. But the match ends with Hell No winning, and then what do we get? Like I said, we get the dance around by AJ Lee that looked cute at that moment when she blew a kiss at her old former man. And then when the Dolph match was over with Kofi Kingston, which was short, sweet, and to the point, Kofi jobs as usual. Hell No comes out, and what do we get? A match at WrestleMania between Hell No and Ziggy? Dolph Biggie? Or Dolph E? I'm not even going to call it that, but I'm going to call it what it is. I predicted there was a chance that these two would be a tag team, Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler, that they may have a match with Hell No, or at least be considered at least a tag team. I didn't really think they would actually get a WrestleMania match, but it could have been a possibility, and there you go. Now, within 3 weeks, we're going to have a WrestleMania, well, at least 3 weeks, we're going to have a WrestleMania match between these four guys. Do I believe it's going to be a good match? It counts on how they build it from now on. Now, the next thing that was confusing, the R-Truth and Damien Sandow match. Now, the problem here is this. Yes, Damien squashed Kofi Kingston. Oh, the intellectual savior of the masses kicks his ass. R-Truth comes back in a triumphant return of having a bad knee problem, but nothing gets done within weeks afterwards. It's just a blank. But then we get this match, and Damien does what Damien does. He does a great promo segment before the match. He walks away and does a count-out loss, and R-Truth wins. So basically, he technically jobs to R-Truth, because you cannot have an R-Truth win over a Damien Sandow. Okay, what can I make of this? Damien is supposed to lose because Cody is supposed to win, because they're still teasing a Cody and Caitlyn romance with the Bellas as a partial catalyst for it. Even though Cody smiles, gets his face touched by the Bella twins on his mustache, and as Caitlyn says, girls, you can have his mustache, and Cody, you can have theirs. Ooh, that was a little rough there, I have to admit. Particularly, you can't tell if they have mustaches or not. Women do grow mustaches, gentlemen. Sometimes they do. If you never heard of electrolysis, to get rid of the light amount of roughage they got on their faces, it does happen from time to time for women. Women, it's okay. You're human. It does happen. You have to have a few flaws. To be 100% perfect, us guys would think we would never have one, even a ghost of a chance with a beautiful woman like you. And in many cases, beautiful, gorgeous women, and this is something myself I need to understand and learn and try to remember. If you see a gorgeous woman walking down the street by herself, or sitting at a bench, or sitting by herself eating something, maybe 6 times out of 10, she's alone, no boyfriend. And usually guys think they don't stand a chance because such a gorgeous woman must have 10 men lined up. Now in some cases that is true. You got some gorgeous looking women that actually have men falling over her. And then you got some incredibly gorgeous looking women who basically are by themselves because no guy feel like they can approach them. Because they seem unattainable, like you can't meet up to their expectations. I admit I'm one of those guys that was like that, and to a point still is. I'm actually learning not to be so afraid to approach beautiful women and just say, hello, how are you? I just want to say you're a beautiful woman. Sometimes just approaching them and just telling the truth. You're a beautiful woman. A woman, not women. You're a beautiful woman. That's all I would like to say. And are you single? Sometimes the direct approach sometimes really helps. That's something I'm trying to learn right now because I'm actually kind of shyish, even though I'm doing these videos. Now let's move on to why Cody might be getting all this attention. As I said before, is there a possibility they're using the Bella Twins and Caitlyn to show some type of friction between Cody and Damian because they're such great friends? They're BFF, best friends forever men. I should have said BFFG. Best friends forever guys. There you go. But if this bromance is supposed to end, if this is supposed to end with Cody showing affection to Caitlyn and Damian is saying she's beneath you, don't be thinking of this harlot, and then Cody punches him out, and then we get a Cody face turn, a part of me doesn't really want it right now, unless it's going to culminate into a WrestleMania match. Because if this was supposed to culminate into a WrestleMania match, it should have been really started months earlier, many months earlier, like at least a month earlier, at least 2 months, where they would start showing Caitlyn being interested in Cody and Cody being interested in Caitlyn, and showing that there's some type of problem with Rogue Scholars. And a lot of times Cody doesn't perform or Damian doesn't perform. Then seeing Caitlyn come out and then something begins from there. Trying to do this within 3 weeks at least is garbage. I don't want to see rushing like this because it doesn't always end well. You got 2 great talents and a Damian Sandow and a Cody Rhodes. They deserve more than just 3 weeks of build into WrestleMania possibly breaking apart. That's if this happens. This could still extend beyond that into, I believe the next one is Extreme Rules. I could be wrong about the next pay-per-view. Leave me a comment below. What is the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania? I don't always keep track of them. There's always a lot of stuff to try and learn and trying to keep up with. So next, we got gonna go into this. Ryback versus David Otunga. Mr. Masterpiece, David Otunga himself, trying that bullshit. The guy is built. You can't lie about that. His wife picked well and going to have some good genetic. Jennifer Hudson picked well. A gorgeous black woman with a well-built, handsome black man. But he still jobbed his ass off to Ryback. And then what the most important thing was, not about him promoting his movie The Call, even though it was shown later in the night. It was Mark Henry coming out, ready to fight with a Ryback. And like I said before, something really feels smelly when it comes to Booker T and a Teddy Long. Because it was Teddy Long who came out with a highlighted Vicky Guerrero with some blondish hair. And it said, you can't touch him until you get to WrestleMania having a match. You are now removed, Ryback, from your WrestleMania match between The Shield and your partners in righteousness, Sheamus and Orton. I said that there had to be some way to get Ryback off the team so a Big Show would come in. He would be inserted, which he was. 3MB versus Sheamus and Orton. I still say that Sheamus and Orton could become a tag team after WrestleMania. There's a possibility, because they've been teaming these guys up for a while now, and people have been pretty much beginning to get over with them as a tag team. Why not do it? Let these guys after... How can I describe this? I have no idea what is going to happen after WrestleMania with The Shield. I'm hoping one member of The Shield or both members are going to try and get the tag titles. There's a good chance Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler will get them. I don't know if Hell No is going to retain. Because of what's been going on in the last couple of weeks, there's a possibility they may not be broken up at WrestleMania 29. They may extend beyond that. Maybe Extreme Rules is when they're going to bring it up. Because of what happened with Paul Bearer. William Motley dying. So I don't know. But if you leave a Sheamus and a Randy Orton together, it wouldn't be that bad. Now, Big Show does come out after they destroy, not demolish, destroy, flatten, eviscerate 3MB. They do, pretty much. There was no problem for them. Big Show comes out after the Shield come out. And he stands in the ring, standing over him like, come on, come on. He runs down to the ring. When is the last time you see Big Show run to the ring? He's running like this. Of course, he's a big man. He can't sprint. He has to run at the speed his physical body can handle. But he ran down to the ring, which was interesting to see a 7-foot man over 400 pounds run. And now he points at, I got to point like this, the WrestleMania sign and think about it. And he walks away. He doesn't take a mic. He doesn't say, you see, you need me. He just points to the WrestleMania sign and says, think about it. Good ending to it. That was good. I'm glad it happened that way. Now, like I said before, and I just want to, just in case I didn't iterate this, the triple threat for the IC Championship, I really wish it could have been a triple threat at WrestleMania 29. I really feel it has more power to it. Now, like I said with Fandango, there's no way of knowing what's going to happen with him in the next couple of weeks. If he does work with Chris, I'll understand it. If he does not work with him and Chris Jericho gets some standard crappy match, I would have still liked to see the triple threat done. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, there's 3 segments left for me. I'm going to talk about the... Why not? The John Cena with the Darren Young and the Pancake Patterson. I can't remember his first name, but Pancake Patterson with some funny shit. Titus O'Neil to me is a very funny character, and I wish they would push him better. But hearing him having gout after he did his millions of dollars match was priceless. John Cena, he does his little segment in the beginning. I was actually bored with it. I didn't think that Darren Young was going to win. It would have been a nice change up to see him win, because then I would have liked to see more doubt for John Cena. Because I don't believe anything that's stated. Nothing. If he had lost, it would have been more interesting. But it wasn't. It's just like it was a couple of years before when he had a problem and he dominated everyone and then got the title back. But what this leads into is my Rock and Cena segment. Again, they play the same thing that has Letters from the Sky that was played on I Am Number 4. I actually like that song. It's actually quite a nice song. But the problem here is this. Before they played it, they started teasing, which sounded like another video. Another new video promotion for WrestleMania 29, which is supposed to make things even more hyped up for Cena and Rock. It sounded like a remix of Rocky. It did. But what did we get was the old original one. Now, maybe The Rock's going to come on the next Raw, which is okay. You can't have Rock there all the time. He's got to go off and do whatever he's got to do. which also gives people more interest in wondering what The Rock is going to say. But here's the problem. We still got 3 weeks. And if Rock cannot be there constantly, and it's going to be sporadic, maybe he'll be on this Raw coming next. Doubt he'll be on this SmackDown, but maybe he might be there. If he's not, it's got to be the next Raw and SmackDown. If he's not there, that means the go-home show and the go-home show for SmackDown is going to be there, which really doesn't feel right. We need a new video segment, something new for both of these guys to say to keep this fresh. I was hoping we were going to get a new video package for WrestleMania 29 because of the Rocky music that was being played, and wasn't there. Just felt lacking. Now, ADR versus Cody. And this was the same old shit we got with Cody. He keeps getting his ass squashed. But what was interesting was when Jack came in and beat the shit out of ADR. And you already heard him before on Wednesday Night Main Event. I didn't watch it. I don't watch Wednesday Night Main Event. That's too much to watch. But finding out from the video package they showed, and then once again hurting his knee is a good thing. But what was great was Ricardo Rodriguez getting his shit snapped up, having his leg snapped. This was good. Especially that the people, before he snapped up Ricardo Rodriguez's leg, the trucker snapped up that leg, people started cheering USA. Now here comes the question, is that USA for Jack Swagger? Or is that USA for ADR? It sounds like it's meant for the trucker, Jack Swagger. There was a small chanting of it. Now the question is, are they going to continue chanting? You could have something quite interesting on your hands if Jack Swagger gets over with the USA chants. Because I think people might not want to see ADR win. They may want to see Jack Swagger win because they want to see something different. Not that they're agreeing what they're saying. It doesn't matter, like I said, if you agree or not. This is a work. We're trying to hype up people in what's actually going on in the country. If you agree, that's not the point. But if the crowd starts cheering USA for Jack, not cheering, yeah, Jack, get him, no, but cheering USA every time Jack Swagger comes out, you may have a reverse of heel and face here. Even though it would still be Jack Swagger heel and ADR face, people may not want to see this crap. They may want to see something in reverse. So we may get a Jack Swagger reverse anti-hero. I don't know. Now, the last two things I'm going to talk about, I thought it was 3, but it's 4. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Triple H contracting signing with Paul Heyman. Simple. Direct. Even though it was drawn out. Seeing Paul Heyman get his knot on his head and get smacked in the head, smacked in the face, smacked in the chest, all that mess. Wasn't that bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. Then seeing him get dragged out by Brock, and then finding out what the stipulation is, leaves me kind of wondering, will it actually happen? Last year we had an end of an era match. Now, end of an era means not just for The Undertaker. Oh, we got two more. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting everything. It's not an ending for The Undertaker, but it was supposed to be ending for Triple H. Triple H was supposed to end then too, but he didn't. He came back. Now, this is a no-holds-barred WrestleMania 29 where his career's on the line. Do I believe his career's on the line? No. I don't feel like it would be on the line, because even if he loses, I feel like he's going to come back. So they're going to have to convince me in the next 3 weeks if this is going to happen. The second to the last is The Undertaker dealing with CM Punk. Sorry, I forgot. I almost forgot. Thank goodness I didn't forget these things. Look, I'm going to make this very clear, my feelings with this. It was good what The Undertaker said. And it was good what CM Punk did and said, including hearing, oh shit, they couldn't block that out. That was good. The thing I felt, which could have made it more dramatic, and I'm sure a couple of people may not agree with me, but for me personally, to really make The Undertaker so pissed and really make the people so angry, I believe they should have gone over the top with the urn. Dropping the urn was one thing, but it wasn't enough for me personally, even though it may have a dent or two while he's flipping it around. I would have liked to see the urn crushed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I know the urn is made out of solid steel, but you could have gotten somewhere where there had been a press, place the urn in it, and say what he's going to say. Crush the urn in front of everyone. You could have gone somewhere that was a steel mill or something, and you could have put the urn inside a steel mill and crushed the shit. I'm not being disrespectful to anyone who cares about urns, but if you really want to make this really hyped up, incredibly personal, I would have said, unlike everybody else, destroy the urn by crushing it. If CM Punk is going to win from the streak, and I'm not saying he will, but if he does win, you must demoralize The Undertaker. The best way to do that is to crush it in a press. Crush that damn thing in a press to make the effect so dramatic that The Undertaker would be shot. And that would give the edge over to CM Punk. This wasn't that bad, but it wasn't enough for me personally. Give me your thoughts down below. I know that sounds very harsh and really going over the top, but I think they really need it. Really. And finally, from the title from below, I believe I'm going to call it King Booger. H-O-F. Hall of Fame. We dig it. I remember seeing Harlem Heat a couple of times over the years back in the 90s. I was very happy to hear that he came to SmackDown and Raw and then became the general manager. I always said Booker T had great energy. He was always a great talent. I'm so glad they're putting him in the Hall of Fame. I do feel really bad that he never really got his hands on the WWE Championship. Tell me below if you remember him ever winning it, because as far as I know, he never won it. Not once. He never did win it. But he accomplished so much over the years and gone to so many titles. I almost think he didn't need it. He had been seen so much and he was still so over with the crowd, no matter if he was a heel or a face. I really feel that in some cases it really wasn't necessary. In this, I don't think it was that necessary. I am so glad to see a Hall of Famer in a Booker T. He deserves it. It fills my heart with joy to know that he has gotten this championship. In a sense, it is. It's like getting a championship. Because now, as he said in the promos, well, the Hall of Fame segment, which I thought they did very well. I loved the music for it at the end. It fits him very well for all his accomplishments. I feel that Hall of Fame ring is his true WWE Championship, because he was a WCW guy. He was a WCW guy. And the WCW was laughed at for so many years by the WWE, because when they brought them over in 2000 and did the invasion angle, they were never really promoted very far. They never did. They always thought they were like a second string. And I know many people are going to say he still is being treated like a second string. Yes, I know. In many cases he is, and he should have won the WWE Championship or the WWF Championship. At least held it more than once. But you know what? For all that he's done for the business, I really think that this is a fitting thing for him. Yes, he deserves the WWE Championship. Maybe one day they'll finally give it to him because he's given back so much to the business. But if they don't, seeing him on the Hall of Fame with a Bruno Sammartino, a Mr. Bob Backlund, a Mick Foley who deserves it, and a Trish Stratus isn't a bad thing at all. Not one thing is bad about that. My rating, B. For the main reason that Booker T's in the show for the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with Fandango. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Chris Jericho. The Dolph and Kofi match led into a tag team match that's going into WrestleMania 29, which I said that might happen. I'm actually quite surprised it did. So I'm giving this a B. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Subscribe and comment to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. And tell me how you feel down below what I said about CM Punk doing what I kind of wish he did, was to destroy the urn. I know it's pretty harsh, but you need to do something here, ladies and gentlemen, to make this show as strong as possible. Have a good day.